What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. We are in New Hampshire for a few days before we get back down to Texas. That's why there's white stuff all over the place. We're wearing these big ass jackets and we're wearing these fire boots right here. It's also why we're gonna try and film this entire video inside today. Nothing quite says welcome back to the United States like a 1,500 calorie breakfast from Starbucks.
I'm pretty sure we had Starbucks in Spain.
Anyway, today I want to break down the top 3 ways for meeting more girls in your 20s. And I'm not just going to tell you the ways, I'm actually going to give you a game plan for each of them so you have a plan for success. If you haven't tried these, I gotta tell you, these Starbucks donuts are on another level. Number 1, the online game. I remember 6 or 7 years ago when online dating was starting to get popular, and it was almost kind of weird if you were actually using it. But over those last 6 years, it's gotten so mainstream that now it's almost like weird if you're not using it. And you gotta realize it's such a powerful thing because it gives you immediate access to a shitload of girls who live near you, they're single, and they're actively looking to date. But here's the thing you have to keep in mind at all times. It is a numbers game. Back when I was single, I used Tinder and Bumble for like 2 or 3 years. I had thousands of matches. And I'm not trying to brag because the fact is, if you get 10 matches with girls who you find attractive, probably only half of those girls will message you back. And then of those 5 girls, probably 2 of them will agree to go on a date with you. And then maybe 1 of them will actually follow through and show up on the date. So you can never get too excited when you match with a girl because otherwise you're gonna constantly get let down and you're always gonna be walking around like anxiously checking your phone. Now, in terms of a game plan, photos have to be your #1 priority because these are visual platforms. And if you don't look good, girls are just gonna keep swiping left on your ass. And I get it, man. Taking photos is not fun. Before social media was basically my job, I never took photos, but here's what you should do. Team up with a bro who's also single trying to work on his game, go out, take some photos of each other, and if you need photo ideas, check out my Instagram page.
Yeah, and also girls find it super sexy if you have photos of things you like to do. So maybe you like playing the guitar or you like throwing the football, whatever it is, it's gonna look good.
And once you get the match, the main thing you have to do is push for the date as soon as possible because I can't tell you how many girls I ended up messaging for like months only to realize that they were never serious about meeting up.
Yeah, they become pen pals.
Yeah.
Like a lot of girls that I'm friends with, they are on these apps, but they're just seeking validation and they're not looking to go on dates.
Yeah, so here's what you gotta do. After like a few minutes of messaging, maybe 30 minutes max, 10 messages back and forth, send her the golden message. Do you wanna hang out sometime later this week? Boom. We don't feel like it. Pre-workout snack right here, and I know it looks like I'm eating like shit today, but you gotta realize that the 30-day shred starts in 2 days, and I've been craving these guys like crazy. Wait, if you're watching this video right now, it means the 30-day shred is already live, which means you get to watch me eat these, but you probably shouldn't eat these yourself. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, my brand new 30-day shred program just went live, and it's designed to help you burn 5 to 12 pounds of body fat in just 30 days. If you join up, you're gonna get access to the same exact workout routine and diet plan that I'm following for the month of January. And everyone who joins up is gonna submit a before photo and an after photo. And at the end, I'm gonna pick the top 3 transformations, and you guys are gonna win over $1,000 worth of supplements from Transparent Labs, of clothing from Edge Lifestyle, my brand. And yes, I do keep supplements and extra clothing in the back. This isn't even my car, in the back of Julia's dad's car. Over 500 of you guys have already rushed in and joined the program, which is insane. I can't wait to see the transformations. So if you're someone like me who's been bulking for a little bit and you've put on some extra belly fat, or you're just someone who has some extra fat that you want to get rid of, then I would highly recommend you join up. It's going to be perfect for you, bro. Again, it just went live today, but signups are going to close in 2 days. After that, you can no longer join the program. You don't want to miss out on this, bro.
I'm doing this program.
Julia's doing it. I'm doing it. I spilled my pre-workout, but over 500 y'all are doing it, man. It's crazy. Click that first link in the description to join up now. This gym is like the oldest plates in the entire world, but somehow has brand new pink barbell collars. Anyway, today we're doing the trap bar deadlift, which I have not done in months, potentially even in like a year, but it's one of the main movements in the 30-day shred. So I'm doing it to like fine tune my form a little bit. I'm not sure how much weight we're gonna get up to today. Hopefully like 5 plates or so. Let's find out. Gonna keep it with 4 plates today. Like 6 to 8 reps. I'm not trying to push for a PR. Just trying to get that muscle memory back, get that form back.
Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create.
All right, bro. Number 2 is social circle game. So social circle game is when you want to go out with a girl and there's some sense of familiarity. So maybe it's a girl you see at the gym a few times a week, or in your chemistry class a few times a week. Or maybe one of your bros is dating a girl and you always hang out with their friends. And the benefit of this is that generally your intuition's pretty good. So if you think there's a flirty vibe between you and another girl, if you ask her out, like the chance of success is gonna be so much higher than with online dating, for example. The downside of this is that a lot of times you get really afraid because you're like, man, if she rejects me, it's gonna be so awkward. I gotta see her again. And I can relate. There's so many girls in the past that I just never asked out because I was afraid of that awkwardness. And if anything, it's made it more awkward, right? Because I never put it out there. And I can tell you from all of my experience and all of my fuck-ups that the best thing you can do in this situation is to ask the girl out as fast as humanly possible.
Because this makes you come across really confident, and if you guys have a flirty vibe and you don't ask her out, she's gonna think either A, you're too weak and you're not confident, or B, that you don't like her and she's gonna put you in the friend zone.
Ready? This is literally all you have to do. Make a simple conversation with the girl. So if you're in the gym, you see her doing a cool ab exercise, say, what's that exercise you're doing? I'm looking for some new exercises for my routine. Maybe you're in chemistry class, you can just say, hey, how did you do on that recent final we had? After you guys chat for 2 or 3 minutes, it can be super innocent conversation, doesn't have to be super flirty. Just ask her, do you want to hang out sometime? Like once I realized that this is all you have to do, that's the moment that I started getting a lot of dates and everything seemed easy to me because I realized it's really not that complicated. And even if you're asking out a girl and she gives you some weird comment like what are you talking about? We always hang out with all of our friends, with our big group of friends. You have to make the power move and be like, nah, I want to hang out with you one-on-one. The key thing here is to be prepared to handle rejection so it does not get awkward. So if she says no or gives you some vague answer, just say, it's all good, take it as a compliment, I'll see you around. So Julia tells me this is like the Chipotle of New Hampshire, which to me sounds like the poor man's Chipotle.
No, this is like the high school hangout. We were like all the cool kids went.
Did you ever kiss a boy here?
No, I did not.
So I got pineapple guacamole, their special chicken, whatever that means, and I'm gonna let y'all know how this compares to the GOAT, Chipotle. It's definitely not as good, but it's also not bad. I give it like 6.8 out of 10. Man, it's so funny to me being back in New England during the winter because I don't know how I lived here for 25, 26, 27 years of my life. And the funny thing is everyone who's from here is like, I like the cold weather, I like the seasons, I like the snow. But let me tell y'all, if any of y'all move to Texas or Southern California or Spain where there's actually comfortable weather or year long, you will realize like you were clinically insane before you got there. No one likes this shit, man. No. Number 3 is the cold approach game. All right, so cold approach is when you're approaching a girl and there's no sense of familiarity. So this could be at the bar, the club, it could be at the coffee shop, on the sidewalk. You know, this is what you guys have seen me do in a lot of my old videos. And I think the main benefit of this is that it's a very effective way at building confidence in yourself, because the chance of rejection is always very high here. And when you get yourself to face that over and over and over again, you start to become kind of immune to rejection. And from my experience, this actually spills over to other areas of your life, and you become a lot better at taking risks. Now, the downside to this is the same as with online dating. If you approach 10 girls, maybe 6 or 7 will talk to you, maybe 4 or 5 will give you their phone number, but at the end of the day, probably only one of the approaches will turn into a date. And it's super important to keep this in mind, because if not, you're gonna become super anxious all the time. Like, I used to always hope that each girl I approached could turn into my girlfriend, so I'd always put all this pressure on myself, and then I'd be super nervous and anxious. But when I finally learned to look at it more as like, this is kind of practice, confidence building practice, that's when you actually start to see a lot of progress, the interactions get better, and you start to develop true confidence. Now, in terms of your actual game plan here, I've already given you guys this in like 100 old videos, but it's basically the same as social circle game. You go up, have a simple conversation, then ask if they want to hang out. Kind of like this.
Excuse me, do you know where the Gaines Memorial Building is? I gotta be honest, I stopped you because I thought you were super cute.
Oh, thank you.
I'm David.
I am Darby.
Darby?
Darby.
With a D?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I gotta go meet your friend. What do you want to hang out sometime?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, cool. What's your phone number?
832.
Anyway, bro, I think the take-home message I got for you today is that you should never depend on just one of these ways to meet girls. Because, for example, I used to only meet girls through cold approach, and then it turned me into a head case where I was always anxiously waiting for the next opportunity to approach a girl. So I might be like riding my bike to the gym, and I'd see a girl across the street on the sidewalk, and I'd have to go over and talk to her, or I'd beat myself up about it. And obviously it is not sustainable. And I have a lot of friends who all they do is the dating apps, and then when they get dates, they show up and they mess it up because they don't actually have any experience or confidence talking to girls in person. But instead, if you take 20 or 30 minutes at the end of the night to message a few girls in the dating apps, and then if you're going throughout your day and you happen to see an attractive girl at the coffee shop or in the grocery store, and then you push yourself to approach her, and then maybe also you notice a girl in your social circle who you feel like there might be some chemistry between you guys, and you ask her out, and you're just consistently doing these things, it's just a lot more organic way to incorporate dating into your life. You're never gonna feel super stressed out, and you're also not gonna get needy when you meet new girls because you know you have all these different sources or ways that you can meet them. I hope all of that made sense. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you, bro. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe and turn notifications on, because I drop 2 new videos every single week, and they are all dope as hell. I will talk to all of y'all in the next video. Stay beastly.